We are pushing enterprise AI to the red line. Companies deploy models, stack up compliance decks, and run ethics workshops. But these are often paper shields. They create a sense of security while the engine runs without a casing. The real test happens in the quiet architecture of a system handling reality. The moment an AI denies a loan, rejects a candidate, or flags a transaction for a VIP customer, that's when the email arrives from legal or a regulator. They need to know the specific mechanics of why the system made this decision for this customer. In that moment, the model's sophistication is irrelevant. Without the equivalent of a flight data recorder, you have no way to reconstruct the truth. The business is left operating in a vacuum, exposed by the very technology meant to drive it forward. Most companies meet these requests with a long silence, followed by a 7-calendar-day scramble. Teams burn hours digging through fragmented vendor logs to piece together a story that should already be recorded. By mid-2026, the EU aigovernance turns this lack of transparency into a massive financial liability. We are entering a phase where the inability to explain a decision carries the same weight as a data breach. This regulatory net is tightening globally, from the EU to India's DPDP. Fines are already on the table for up to 35 million euros, or 7% of global turnover, penalties that can cripple a balance sheet. AI compliance has hardened into a strict operational liability. CFOs will soon authorize multi-million-dollar budgets for remediation, but most of that capital will be wasted on patching symptoms instead of building a permanent solution. I've spent years looking at how systems fail when they lack accountability. So why is capital flowing into governance while the risk of missing data lineage remains? If you look at the vendors, the obscurity is the product. Cloud providers often keep you locked into proprietary logs, ensuring you stay dependent on their infrastructure to interpret your own data. Systems integrators then bill for manual audits to bridge these gaps. They charge for the friction rather than removing it, profiting from the very fragmentation that puts your business at risk. When every partner in the chain benefits from the truth remaining obscure, transparency becomes a threat to their bottom line. This fragmentation is a business model, and the enterprise pays for it twice, once in fees and once in risk. The evidence stack is the true control point, acting as the foundational ledger beneath the model. It shifts focus from the engine to the journey's record. This layer ingests and normalizes raw prompts, user inputs, and specific model versions for every inference. It captures human touchpoints, logging machine outputs alongside overrides and approvals. It recognizes the machine is only one part of the decision. This creates verifiable data lineage, an unbroken chain of custody from the first input to the real-world consequence. This architecture turns static policies, like fairness thresholds and risk classifications, into executable code. It moves accountability from a PDF appendix directly into the engineering stack. By building this tamper-evident layer, the system holds under pressure. It protects the operator and makes the work safer. Possession of this stack changes the response to an audit. When a regulator asks for 50 decisions, you don't scramble. You query the ledger. You can reconstruct every input and override in a matter of hours. The precision of the response is undeniable. Surviving an AI incident depends on having the structural architecture to explain it when it happens. This creates a competitive asymmetry. While your peers debate ethics on slide decks, you are operating from a position of absolute strength with an engineered system. Proving you own the choke point turns a regulatory nightmare into a sales asset. Major clients will sign faster when they know the ground beneath the technology is solid. Try a validation test tomorrow. Take a high-risk workflow like claims, hiring, or corporate underwriting, and pull 20 adverse cases from the last quarter. If your team cannot map the exact inputs and overrides in under a week without heroics, the foundation is already cracked. The inability to prove why a system failed remains a higher risk than the failure itself. Build the black box before the regulators ask for it. It's the only way to protect the work that matters.